We've got several thrash metal techniques bundled into just one riff here. Plenty of finger movement here, right? We've got a little bit of that downstroke palm muting, and we also have those little gallops, that snappy alternate picking technique that we love to play so much. We're going to learn to play this. I'm going to show you how to expand on it and of course make it your own. Patreon supporters, you guys of course have the tabs and the backing tracks for this riff. Also hang around for our usual guitar chat at the end of the lesson. I've got some really cool things I want to share with you today. Alright guys, we are learning this riff. So this is pretty much in the key of E minor here, and we're going to be starting out on the A string. To make this easy, we're only playing the A and the E strings here. I like to simplify things in the beginning. What are we doing? What's the overall kind of high-level big picture here? And let's try to just break everything down, kind of like little bite-sized chunks, if that makes sense. Now I'm hungry. Hamburger later. I had to grill some burgers yesterday and I've got some leftovers. Anyway guys, back to the lesson. So we're starting out on the A string here, and what we're implementing are those tiny little like 1, 2, 3 quick picks, I call them. They're called gallops, right? I got a lot of names for them, but this is a 1, 2, 3 alternate pick, and we start out with that on the 10th fret of the A string. Now let's just go over the notes real quick. On the A string, 10th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret. That's really it, okay? Again, we just simplified things, right? Only on 2 strings here, really only 3 notes we're starting out with. So that just helps simplify things. So now we can implement the techniques. This right here. What I'm doing here is starting out again with a gallop. Alternate pick. It's a 1, 2, 3. Down 1, up 1, down 1, okay? Real quick, if you guys have trouble with this technique, I have a Galloping for Beginners video. I recommend watching that video. I'll put it up here if you want to watch that, then come back, and this lesson will make a little bit more sense. So we're galloping, and how we're doing this, and this is really cool. We're actually doing the gallop on 2 notes here. So we're not just 1, 2, 3 on 1 note. We're 1, 2, then we change notes for that 3rd stroke. We'll be going 2 times on the 10th fret, then we'll end on the 9th fret. Watch this very closely again. Those last 2 notes that we play are going to be downstrokes, okay, when we go from the 7th and the 9th there. So once again. So we gallop, then we go to downstrokes. Alternate picking, right? The galloping, then to downstrokes. So we're combining 2 techniques into one. And I don't mean to belabor that point there, but it's just cool to mix things up a little bit. You don't have to always play the alternate picking throughout the entire riff or just downstrokes. You can kind of combine them together. From here, the lesson gets a little bit easier. We're going to head on over to the E string. Let me play the riff out here so it makes sense to you. As you just saw and heard, we're only playing 3 notes on the E string. Really simple, guys. So the hardest part, or the most challenging part of the lesson, is really that first part. So if you can make it past that piece and go to this next one here, well, we're just playing again on the E string, 10, 8, 7. That's it. Pretty simple, right? One more time. And again, after that little alternate picking piece, that gallop that we do, everything is pretty much downstrokes. Now, we're going to end the riff here with just an E power chord, okay? Now, what I'm doing here is I'm playing the power chord, okay, letting that ring out just for a little bit. Then I'm going to palm mute that open power chord, the open string, the power chord. I think I'm palm muting, guys, real quick here. Sometimes I'll palm mute just the 1 string, sometimes the power chord. So you've got the power chord, then I'll do the 1 string. Listen to the difference real quick. and this isn't really part of the lesson, but I like to point these little things out. I want you to play, and I'm only just, palm muting the open string there those 2 times, but I want you to play whatever you feel like playing, guys. If you want to palm mute the entire power chord because it sounds more meaty, I know we're talking about food here, I'm getting more hungry for my hamburger, but if you want to do that, guys, by all means do that. It's not wrong, it's just what you want to do, and this is where we get into making this riff your riff. That's my hidden agenda for my lessons, by the way. I want you guys to take what I'm sharing with you and just run with it, make it your own, okay? So back to the lesson. We're gonna palm mute that, whether you want to play just the 1 string palm muted or the entire power chord palm muted. It's basically the power chord, okay? Then 2 downstrokes. That's it. We end with a gallop times 2. Pretty cool. Once again, guys, this is exciting stuff. I love this because we're playing the downstrokes, but then we don't stop there. We're going to integrate some of this really killer galloping technique as well, which I happen to love. I know a lot of you love playing this as well. And all we're doing, again, 1, 2, 3, just the downstrokes. Now, with gallops, I do recommend, again, this is not right or wrong, guys. You got to remember, when it comes to guitar playing, especially writing your own riffs, there's no right or wrong. And I would venture to say, even if you're learning someone else's riff, I mean, if you want to play it a different way, well, who's to say you can't? There's no one that can tell you that you can't play it. And if they do, you just tell them, no, I'm going to play it however I want to play it. This is how you start to expand, okay? This to me is going from just being a guitar player learning songs to being an actual guitarist and musician that's writing your own riffs. And I think that's the beauty of being a musician. So when you're learning stuff like this, if you have a better way to play it that sounds better to you, or just sounds more natural, or just feels more natural to go this direction instead of that direction, instead of the way the song's played or how somebody's showing you, run with it. It's not wrong to do that, okay? I want to encourage you to do that. In any case, I like combining these downstrokes with the alternate picking, which in this case, the gallops. What I was going to mention, though, about the gallops, the thing about galloping is you will get a little bit tighter response with galloping on the 1 string because you're palm muting that. Real quick, listen to the difference, and we're going to get into our guitar chat here, but listen to the difference. I'm going to gallop with just the 1 string, the open E, then I'll gallop a few times with the whole power chord, okay? Listen to the difference. Okay, you heard the difference. Now, that entire power chord gallop, that sounded really meaty, but when you start playing those a little bit faster, it might get a little muddy, and if you want a little bit tighter sound, try just the open string. Here's the entire riff one more time, then we will get into our guitar chat. Got some really cool stuff to share with you. Guys, it is time for our guitar chat. I always love this time with you. But real quick, if you do not have my free Metal Riffs and Licks practice guide, this has literally helped thousands of you folks out there over the past, I don't know, I've had it out there for many years now. If you don't have that though, there's a link in the description that's completely free. Download your copy of that. Now, if you have that and you're not in one of my online guitar courses, well, check those out as well. I've got Metal Riff Master, over 80 metal riffs. We go through all the techniques of playing metal guitar, and you're going to learn so many different riffs and combining techniques together, kind of like what we just did, and riffs in different keys. That's where I kind of throw you for a loop in the Metal Riff Master course. If you're just starting out, I've got a course called Metal Guitar Apprentice, and this is perfect if you're starting out playing heavy metal guitar, or you've been away from the guitar for quite some time and you just want to come back and revisit those fundamentals. Check those out. The links for all of that good stuff is in the description of this video. Guitar chat time, guys. So as I mentioned, I really want you to take this riff and make it your own. I shared with you a few ways you can do that, and even in the single note riffs, especially in the single note riffing part, that beginning section, when we're throwing those little gallops in there and just doing those runs, I want you to explore the fretboard. maybe play that in a different place on the fretboard, maybe add some notes, hey, maybe even take away some notes, maybe play the galloping in a different part of that riff. Just play around with that and see what you can come up with. This is where you really start to venture out and you start writing some killer stuff. And I'm honored to be a part of that, to share riffs like this with you that you can take and just run with it and make them your own. So hey, thanks for watching my video, and I really hope that part helps you expand beyond just this lesson here. I want you to find your own style and sound. I know a lot of you have that already, but it's a continuous process in developing your own style. And you think of great guitar players like Satriani, for example. He's just one of my favorites. And I know Satch isn't a metal guitar player. I've got plenty of metal favorites, Jeff Loomis being one. Hey, I love Kirk Hammett's playing. You know, there's several metal guitar players out there. I love the guitar players for bands like Sonata Arctica. I love Evergrey, Tom England. I love his playing as well. Very tasteful stuff. I'm going way off on a tangent. We could talk about guitarists all day on here. All that to say this, guys, I want this to happen. I want when you pick up your guitar and you start to play those first few notes, that your friends or spouse or whoever is watching you, the audience, I want them to be able to tell it's you playing guitar. This is where you develop not only your own style, but your own signature style and sound. It just becomes known, okay? I've been doing this for a long time, and you know, my friends that come to my shows, my live shows, my wife and several others, they know when it's me. And guys, I'm not putting myself up on a pedestal. I'm not saying I'm the best guitar player ever. I'm not. There are plenty of people that can smoke me. That's okay. I do have my own distinct style and sound. Those who know me and who know my playing and listen to my albums, thank you, by the way, for the support. They can tell it's me playing. Whether someone likes my style or not, they know it's me. You develop that, and I just want to encourage you to develop that as well. One more thing before we go, actually two more things. Quick update on my album. I just finished writing lyrics. I just finished the last song, so I'm going to be recording vocals this week and get the leads down. That's coming along quite well. I'm hoping for an August release. Guys, I know this has been a painfully long time coming. Those of you who have been on my channel here for quite some time, I've been talking about this. You know, I stopped the production on the album. I stopped the recording on it 2 years ago to focus on Metal Mastermind, which is a project I started with my good friend and business partner, Ken Candelas. That's where I have my guitar courses at, and we have several other courses out there for metal musicians. Go to metalmastermind.com. You'll see my courses. We've got Rich Gray, his Metal Bass Master course that's coming out. I'm going to be working on a lead guitar course as soon as I finish my album. So yeah, I put everything on hold though to build Metal Mastermind with my good friend Ken Candelas. So that's why a lot of you know that story. So it's kind of like a broken record here. But all that said, the album is coming along quite nicely, and I hope to have an August release. One last thing, guys, I've got another video for you to watch. If you're watching this video at the time of its release, well, this is going to be a premiere that you want to set a reminder for, but go here. I've got an interview with Must Not Kill's guitarist Brad Mader. Such an honor to have someone like Brad, and he's just a cool dude anyway, but someone like him who has literally toured the world. Must Not Kill and the bands he was in prior to that, he has toured all over the world, and he's been a professional musician, working musician since his early teens. So check that out. I'll put that up there for you guys to watch. Again, if you're watching this video before that one is released, well, you'll be able to set the reminder for the premiere, and of course the video will remain out there, so check that out. Guys, thank you once again for watching. Thanks for the support. Be sure to like, subscribe, and as always, keep it metal.